Hello everyone, it's Kevin, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to recreate a small scene from Jurassic Park, the first movie. I want the baby raptor hatching from the egg in the lab. So I found this model on Thingiverse. It's Blue the raptor from the Jurassic World movie, but it's the baby version and it's really close to the baby hatching on the movie. So I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna take the head and the arm, that's the only thing I need only, and I'm just gonna print an egg. And then later on I'm just going to try to mess around. I'm probably going to try to break it and make it happen. So let's go. Okay, so I went in Mesh Mixer. I've cut the two hands here and the head was already separate, so that's good. I apply my support, nothing really crazy. I just have to make sure I'm going to support all the small teeth around the top here. So I'm going to use a lot of light support and I'm going to branch on all of it. And then I'm just gonna pray to make sure everything was fine. Spoiler alerts, a couple of them failed, but it was fine. I think I had maybe 2 or 3 teeth who failed, but the rest was fine, so that's good. Here I've cut my egg in half, the inside is hollowed as well. So I just put a bunch of support randomly, there is no science here. And when I was done, I took my pencil and I tried to put the line of where I was gonna break the egg. And here I've tried to cut it with the knife, but I was a bit too much optimistic. I decided to drill all the way around because the knife was gonna take ages. So this one with the drill was really long as well, but I don't have a Dremel or anything, so I just went by hand. When I was done, I've trimmed around. I make sure my head fit first, and then I'm just gonna sand everything around, make sure it's smooth. When I'm good, I'm gonna use some super glue and try to glue the head on the corner here. Just gonna stand like this for a while, make sure it's good. I'm gonna take some of the pieces who were like the inside of the shell here, I'm just gonna break in smaller pieces and go around and give some life to the model. So he's popping out from the inside, so I'm just gonna have some small tiny shelf going outward. Everything is super tiny, super fragile, so it was a bit of a pain to go around. Here when I tried to fit the small hand and get the angle right, it was a bit of a pain. The second one doesn't want to go in. When I was done, I've used some milliputs, so I want to give the body, so I'm missing some piece inside, like there is only the head and the end, so I'm using the milliput to strengthen everything and to have some kind of body, even if I'm not going to see too much of it. I'm gluing back my other half. And here I'm applying some texture, so I use some PVA and some pigment. It's just mashed chalk and I've mixed it with PVA and I'm just putting it around. I sanded some of it later on and here I'm applying some PVA again. I made a small base on the side with some foam, some cardboard, some paper. I decided to print some plant. I find those one, I'm gonna link it in the description, and they're really nice. Pretty simple, so I'm gonna use it to add some stuff around. Time to start on the painting. So I'm gonna get inspired by what's in the movie. I looked up from the screenshot a lot that I had and tried to get the paint right on the skin and the effect as well. It's kind of a brownish, as you saw here. I'm just applying a wash, and later on it's gonna be a bit brighter, a bit pinkish even. I'm not sure what kind of color this is, but after mixing around, that's the one I wanted. And the painting process is really simple. It's just like base coat, wash and dry brush. There is nothing crazy going on, but it's not about the technique, it's just about trying to get the effect right and fun. Here for the eyes, I just did the classic lizard eyes. I took some picture, looked at some picture online and make sure I had some of the similarity in the eyes. I'm using some ink on the corner here to make it pop a lot. Here you can see there is like 1 or 2 teeth missing. That's okay. So for the eggs, there is a line going around. It's really annoying, but I messed up at the start. I thought I was gonna be fine, but the line stayed all the way. That's okay. I used some bonish color and some gray. There is some shade of gray that you can see around. Here I'm washing over with a brown. And when I dry brush over, I'm really happy with the effect. Obviously, if you look at the line, it's a pain in the ass to look at it, but the line apart, the effect is really nice. The pigment and the PVA that I use at first is really nice, and when you dry brush over, I think the effect is really similar to an egg that you would want. Time to dry brush the plant. I've just washed over the base before. The same process as the dinosaur. Here I apply some base coat inside. I'm not gonna see too much of it, so I just want the paint to help me for later. Time to apply some grass and some moss. Make the base a bit more lovely. And here what I'm using is just some plastic like film. The kind of plastic you have when you have like a water bottle pack or stuff like this, really thin. I've cut it the way I wanted. I've used a lighter underneath to try to get some organic wave and shape around, and I painted it with gloss varnish and paint, and the result is great. Here I'm using the transparent resin that I have to glue those kind of I don't know, gooey stuff going around. So it's the same process. I've cut a lot of tiny pieces of plastic. I've used my lighter to just give some weird shape around. I've glued everything with the resin on the model, and now I'm using the paint around. I'm using a magenta kind of paint and then a more brighter paint. So 2 types of red to mix stuff around a little bit. I even went back with some darker wash after just to give some shape and some contrast on the blood. And when everything was done, I applied a lot of gloss varnish all over. When the egg is done, time to glue it on the base. And here I'm applying some pigment around the dirt. And for the final touch, the small logo. And here I have it. I'm finally done with the Jurassic Park diorama. This one was super fun to work on, from first getting the idea and trying to make it happen along the way, trying to find the model, then printing what I needed, trying to mash up everything by hand after to make it happen. So I didn't have a lot of material as well to make the stuff myself, like the blood around the dinosaur. It's mostly plastic and varnish gloss and PVA and stuff like this, but the result is super nice. The end result is really cool. I really enjoy all the process. The creative process along the way was super fun. There is a small like line around the egg. That's kind of what I regret. I should have took my time and tried to put some milliput, maybe smooth around the egg to make sure everything was perfect. I thought the PVA around was going to be enough to fill the gap, so that's my bad. But that's what you do, you make mistake and then you try to fix it up for next time. Tell me what do you think in the comment. I make video every week and I work hard for it, so subscribe and like the video, and see you next time.